What's going on, believers? Guys, ShibaDoge is now in a consolidation pattern, and it looks like they are getting ready for this next leg up. Now, I know you guys seen charts before. You know what a chart looks like when it's ready for that next leg up. I'm going to show it to you in just a few minutes. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the 888 project, which is ShibaDoge's idea for the next 888 years. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways.
All right, guys, we're not going to need to zoom in today. We're going to look at this. It's trading at 24.19 right now. That's with a few zeros. These projects, micro caps, tend to do that, but we're talking about a $47 million market cap with almost 14,000 hodlers. So it really looks like we are set for that next big move. We're going to trade a little bit sideways. Once that sideways action completes itself, then this is going to seem like it's just a tiny little bump on the end of it. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it over and over again, and it's coming. Moving on. All right, on ShibaDoge media release, there is an 888-year plan, and we're not going to talk about the whole thing. We're going to kind of skim through here so that we can get to the meat and potatoes of the mix. It's about a 14-minute read, so it's worth your time, by the way. However, the prologue kind of illustrates that they were looking at a long-term vision. Then they got to a point where they started talking about a 100-year vision, which ended up being an 888-year vision. Is it really an 880-year vision? Well, there's a premise to this, and a lot of this goes back to imagine where you were a long time ago. If you were in the year, say, 1023, which is the crux of the story, you'd have no idea about the year's most significant events, like Abad I declaring the Taif of Seville to be independent from the Corban rule. So you wouldn't know all of these things. In that same year, there was a horrible epidemic in Kyoto that spread throughout the country, with corpses scattered in the streets. Now, guess what? You wouldn't know that if you lived in Europe at the time, because that's how these things are. Fate, the summary and the crux of this is the fate depends on you, the community of today, your children, and dozens of generations to come. So then the 888-year question becomes this: what exactly is it? Well, first, let's understand decentralization. Democracy is far from perfect. For the elite, and the allure of corruption and personal gain is often too great for a temptation for those at the helm to rule with society's best interest at heart. We're seeing this play out right now throughout society. We are seeing, um, and I don't know where you fall on your political spectrum, but we're seeing a lot of government overreach in a lot of different nations, a lot of different countries where you wouldn't have expected to see it, and you're starting to see it manifest itself in many different ways, and you're starting to see the citizens fighting back. So, where does that leave us, and what does that have to do with decentralization? Well, it's very simple. We have never, as a society, been unified in our thoughts. We've never been people who believe in the same things as everybody else. My beliefs are different than everybody else's beliefs, but one thing that we can all agree on is that we don't want the government telling us what to do and controlling everything about the aspects of our daily life. That's not how a fair people are governed. Decentralization takes the government away from that, and it gives you control and puts the control of your wallet back into your pocket. That is exactly what decentralization does. So, for the future of ShibaDoge, what we're talking about here is the contract at some point in the future is going to be renounced. This means that further changes will no longer be possible, and additional innovation will be limited to the confines of the existing framework. So, what's being worked on right now is to make the contract work to the best of its ability for the future. And you never know what that future is, but that's what the project is working on right now. Hyperdeflationary tokenomics adjustment. Because we have a free and open marketplace to exchange tokens, the transaction tax was designed to reward hodlers through components of scarcity, reflection, and supporting liquidity. As it currently stands, our tokenomics include a 5% tax that is allocated to the marketing wallet. These funds are allocated to ensure the growth of the project and community. At a certain point, when our community has reached critical mass, the diminishing marginal return for every marketing dollar will substantially decrease. At that time, we will convert the 5% marketing fee to be allocated to the burn wallet. So what you're going to start seeing is a massive sort of burn on a scale the likes of which you haven't seen in this industry before. So what's not to like about a massive increase in the rate of burn on all of the tokens that you are holding right now? The 888-year liquidity lock, that's what we're going for right here. These guys are going to lock it for 888 years. Unity DAO, a healthy community, is one of self-governed. Decentralized autonomous organizations are a form of governance in crypto that gives the decision-making power to the people. And it basically means that you get a vote on what is going to happen going forward and in the future. We will be creating a DAO with a purpose to govern the project's future, empowering those who have voting rights through token ownership to continue on with the core beliefs and philosophies of our ecosystem. This will not be limited to governance exclusively related to the ShibaDoge project in its future. It will encompass all that we set out to achieve as a community of one. There's no challenge too great for this community if you stand together, unified under a common. We intend to develop our ecosystem to empower our community through open source technology. This means that developers, creators, and the greatest minds will have the capabilities to further our mission and bring their imagination to reality. There is a lot going on under the hood here. There's so many things that this product has recognized and seen as being a problem. First, a low burn rate. They're going to turn into a high burn rate. And they're going to give a voice to the people. And the people in most of these projects, you're the voiceless. And ShibaDoge is about to give you a voice. Moving on. All right, guys, let's summarize this. And let's first say that the links are in the description below for you to get into the ShibaDoge Telegram. Something important that you need to be involved in if you have interest in this product is quite simply be in the Telegram so that you're informed about what's going on. Also, follow their Twitter. The link is in the description below, and you can see what's going on. They have AMAs, and they like to have them constantly to make sure that you, the investor, are completely informed about what it is that they're doing and what's going on. What more could you ask for? The AMAs are done on West Coast time. They are done Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That would be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast. 3 times a week, you will be able to ask your questions to the development team, and you will be able to hear exactly what plans they have that are going on so that you have a better understanding of what the future holds for this project. That is massive and important when you are deciding on a project. This is as open as it gets, guys. You can go look at the contract. You can see how it ranks. You can see that there's no flaws, there's no holes. The marketing wallet is going to be converted over into a burn. There's not much to dislike here, guys. If you're not invested in ShibaDoge, the merger of two common enemies into one crypto, then you are missing the boat. And I'm here because I don't want you missing that boat. Guys, this is not financial advice. Make sure you take your profits on the way up. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Don't stare at the charts. Go outside, enjoy the sunlight. And I'm always right.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world. I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go.